Hi guys, it's Claire here from Brave Yoga. So there's a few of you online. Hi. Today we're playing number 16 on the playlist, so you can start number 16 with me in a moment if you wish. And today we're going to be focusing on glutes. So we're focusing mostly on the gluteus maximus, which is the big muscle of the glute, which when people say, you have a nice booty, that's generally what they're talking about, the gluteus maximus. And it is considered one of the strongest muscles in the body, but not if you have a condition called glute amnesia, which is basically they don't work, they're sleeping, or they're deactivated because you're compensating with other muscles such as your quads, your hips, your hamstrings, and also your back. So if your glutes aren't working, you can get really tight other muscles in the hip because they compensate for the lack of these big muscles actually activating. So today, what we're going to do is focus on using the glutes and focusing on those throughout the rest of the class. So today we're working on strength. You can press play on your playlist, and then when you're ready, come down on your backs and close your eyes and just start to focus on your breath. So I invite you to bring your hands on the sides of your ribs. So the palms on the sides of your ribs and elbows resting on the floor. If you want to come into an early hip opener, you can bring your feet together and knees out to the sides. And as you inhale, feel the ribs expand. And as you exhale, feel the ribs contract. And just bringing that mind's eye, that attention to how that feels in the body. Finding that connection to body and breath. And maybe on the next inhale, you can breathe into the belly so it rises. And the lungs expand, the ribs expand. And exhale, let the belly fall and let the ribs contract. Taking your attention entirely onto the process of the breath. Relaxing the shoulders even further into the floor. Relaxing the facial muscles and other muscles that you do not need. On your next exhale, gently remove your hands from your ribs and bend your knees and bring your heels in towards your glutes. Tickle the backs of your heels with your fingers, and we'll start with some early bridges. So as we exhale, bring the hips up only halfway, not to full extension. And then squeeze the glutes and tilt the tailbone towards your heels. So this will encourage the wrapping of the glutes around the hips and cause the hip. The more that the glutes squeeze together, it's a hip extender which pushes the hips forward towards the roof. So the more you squeeze them, the more your hips will go towards the roof. And we'll hold here for a moment. And also watching the knees. When you squeeze the glutes, the knees want to go out. So use your strength in your quads to bring your knees straight so that your knees are not going to the sides of your mat. From here, I want you to deactivate your left glute, but keep your right activated. And feel the hip drop on that side. And then swap to the other side. And see if you can get that control. It's quite difficult. But what we're doing here is trying to connect the mind and the muscle control. So when we're in a yoga pose, we can do it with our minds. We can think and contract and control. Come back to full activation, both glutes. And exhale, slowly lower down. So just bring attention to if you found it difficult to do that exercise or not. And if you did find it difficult to control the glutes, then maybe this is going to be a good class for you. Bring your knees into your chest and maybe take some little rocks forward and back over the spine if that feels good. Bringing the feet onto the floor. And then hands behind you, we're starting with some reverse tabletop poses. This is a really great one for the glutes as well. So take a big breath in and exhale. We bring the hips up towards the roof. Now, if you notice here, my glutes are slightly down and my glutes are not working right now. So if I push them up further towards the ceiling, they start to activate. And through the glute activation, I extend my hip more. Chin towards chest or fall back if that feels good. Inhale, bring the glutes down. We've got another 4 of those. Exhale to rise. Inhale to drop. Exhale, rise. Inhale, drop. We've got 2 more. Exhale, rise. Push through the heels when you get to the top. Inhale, down. Exhale, rise. I know where some of you might use this moment. We're getting laughs and smiles here. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise. And then exhale to floor. All right, so you can do that again, or so you'll be doing that 10 times, or we're going to take it a little further, a little harder for the rest of you who want to do that. So take a breath in, place your hands on the floor, fingers facing towards your body. Exhale, we rise up. We're going to straighten the left leg. And inhale as we drop the glutes, keep that leg straight. Exhale to rise, push through the right heel. Inhale down, 4. Inhale down, 3. You can feel it start to work. Inhale, 2, and 1. Bring the glutes down, legs down. Give yourself a little shimmy from side to side. Maybe swap to the other side. If you're not doing the one legs, you're just doing your normal reverse tabletop. Push that left heel into the floor. That's going to be your standing heel. Take a breath in. Exhale, hips up. Straighten the right leg forward. Inhale to drop. Exhale, extend. Inhale to drop. Exhale, extend. We've got 3 left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take the hips down, knees, feet to floor, and maybe give yourself a little hug and a rock side to side to massage the glutes. Hands onto the floor, coming into tabletop position. And just really trying to bring the attention into these big muscles of the leg that work so hard for us in pretty much any position in exercise, running, walking, jumping. These are the things that need to be activated. We'll start with the left leg so that people online can see me. Lift the leg up. So you want the quad parallel to the floor and foot flexed on the top. Watch the lower back as it starts to tilt the tailbone, push through the hands, neutral neck, and little pulses, the heels straight up to the roof. Now really take your mind's eye to that glute muscle on the left. Make sure you're feeling it starting to burn. If you're not, tilt your tailbone a little more and try to activate with your mind. Exhale, bring your knee to elbow on the left. Inhale to rise up. We have 5 of these. Exhale. That's 2. Exhale. 3. Inhale. 1 more after this. Inhale, rise. Exhale. And then back to center. Nice work. Ready for the other side? Yeah, get that booty working. And if your wrists are feeling a bit sensitive, you can take a little break on the wrists. If you want to decompress, you can put the tops of your hands on the mat and lean back a little. Let's go to the other side. So right. So bend the knee, flex the foot, tilt the tailbone so that we're not dumping into the lower back, push through the hands even, and then little pulses. It's quite a small movement. That quad stays parallel to the floor pretty much most of the time because that top momentum of that glute pulling against our quad is what we're looking for. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale to rise up. Feel that glute activate at the top. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale up. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Almost there. Inhale. 1 more left. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Legs down. Walk hands forward. Push up and back. Downward facing dog. So walking out the legs here, after the activation. This is a nice stretch for the whole back of the body. Maybe one of my favorites is having an inhale, come onto tippy toes, and exhale, push into heels. Spread the fingers wide and have the hands a little wider than you think that you need. Wrap the shoulder blades around the armpit so the biceps spin forward. Relax the neck and head. Look between the hands, option to step, or if you feel ready, you can have a little jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, neck is looking towards floor. Exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly rise up. Hands come through heart center, maybe over the head, breath in, and exhale, hands to heart. Taking a moment to feel into your legs, closing your eyes and feeling your breath. Today we're focusing on strength. So the great thing about strength is not determined by doing the things that you can do, but by doing the things that you thought you couldn't do. So when it gets hard, I want you to remember that, and you don't get stronger without challenge. So here we go. Inhale, hands up to sky, and exhale to fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, hands down, option to step or to jump back into high plank. So we'll be here for a little bit, and we're going to have a play again with the glutes. So fingers spread wide, protract through shoulders, push the heels towards the back of the room, but your chest towards in between your hands. You'll start to feel an activation of the core. Now I want you to squeeze your glutes together. So you can bring your feet closer together. It allows you to squeeze your legs as well for this one. Squeeze your glutes and then let them sink away and deactivate. And feel the difference. For me, my core activates much more when my glutes are engaged. You can lower your knees to the floor or come onto your elbows at any point if this is too much. Now, all together, lower the knees. Let's come down in chaturanga, but we're going to keep squeezing the glutes. Bring the chest forward, slowly lower down. Inhale to baby cobra. Maybe the hands lift. Maybe the feet lift. Maybe you squeeze the glutes. The glutes are lifting the legs, the weight of the legs. Exhale, bring hands to floor, face to floor gently. And then push up and back into downward facing dog. Walking out the legs, closing the eyes and focusing on that breath rather than the sensation through sight. When we close the eyes, it allows us to really zone in to the body sensation. Look between the hands, step or jump between the hands. Inhale halfway, exhale fold. Breath in, slowly roll up. Exhale, hands fall to floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down, step or jump back. Try to take that control if you do the jump. Squeeze the glutes, come down through chaturanga. Always an option to lower the knees. And then inhale to our first upward facing dog. So this one's also super important for the glutes. We first roll the shoulders back, and if we don't turn on the glutes, you can dump into your lower back here. So I can feel my lower back. So to stop this, I'm going to squeeze my glutes and my quads, and they lift off the mat. So that's another welcome to the booty. And exhale into downward facing dog. Look between the hands, step or jump between the hands. Inhale halfway, exhale, breath out, fold forward. Breath in, slowly roll up, hands overhead. Breath out, exhale, fold. Halfway, breath out, hands to floor, step or jump back, high plank. Take your flow. If you want to step it up, is a one-legged chaturanga or chaturanga push-ups. They're there for you if you want to take them through every single chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, squeeze the glutes, rise, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Right leg rises towards the sky, then the knee pulse up. So this is exactly what we were doing earlier in our tabletop, but now we're just in a downward facing dog. So just be mindful if you can feel that glute working. If not, squeeze it with your attention. Really use it. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale to rise up, back into that glute extension. Exhale back. We've got 5. Inhale to rise. Really activate the glute. Exhale, that's 3. Inhale, rise. 4. And 5. This time we exhale, step the foot between the hands, come into a low lunge, and just stay here for a moment and have a little stretch out. Just gazing towards the floor, pushing through the heel of the back foot and getting nice and steady through the legs. Slowly rise up. Crescent lunge, hands up. So we're having some lunge pulses. You're going to great spot right in front of the heater there. So I'm just laughing. Oh my God. Okay, so as we take an inhale, we're going to come down. So we're bending the back knee, coming straight towards the floor, pushing through the heel on the front foot, hands up. And exhale, we rise, bringing the hands in. Inhale, slowly come down, almost touching to the floor. Really with control, push through that right heel. Exhale. Inhale down. Exhale. We have 2 more. 5's a magic number. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, from here, take a breath in, come down. But instead, we're going to exhale and come forward like this. Yeah, you got it. Knee into chest. Inhale back, drop the knee. Exhale, step forward, really activating through right glutes. Inhale, come back, drop down. Exhale, that's 3. 2 more to go. Inhale, drop. Exhale, almost there. 1 more. Inhale to drop down. Exhale. Come back to crescent lunge. And exhale, warrior 2. This should feel really nice for the glute after all that work. Then deep into the front knee, gaze over the front middle finger. Close the eyes and breathe. And we close the eyes. That's only if you want to focus on the breath. If you want another drishti or another focus, you can gaze towards the front middle finger or just anything that isn't moving to get that focus. Exhale, we bring the hands into eagle pose. And maybe the head just rests on the hands or the forearms. You'll start to feel the burn in that front quad. Keep the knee bent, keep it active. Inhale, hands open. Exhale, hands to center. Turn both the feet a little further in, but out to the sides of the mat. We're coming into goddess. Exhale, squat down. So your knees are going the same way as your toes. Just check. Hands to heart center. Few options here. You can stay here or bring your feet a little tiny bit closer together. Come up onto one tippy toe. Back down, then the other side. And down. The other side. And down. Now, maybe both together, coming up onto both tippy toes, come down. Last stage, little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, oh yeah, and 1. Drop the heels, walk the feet back in. I know it's taught, actually stay, let's keep the feet out. And exhale, we're going to push into our hips. So bringing that left shoulder towards the right knee and tractioning through the left hip. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. This is really going to help with any burning sensation in the glutes and the quads. Inhale up, and when you come up to center, you can straighten your legs a little bit if you're finding this really hard. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. All right, last set, squats. Bring the feet in just wider than the hips. We're going to take it slow and work on activation. So hands can just be out in front of you like this if that feels good, or hands of prayer, whatever you want. Take an inhale. We're going to come down to the lowest range that feels good for you. Watch your toes don't go over your knees don't go over your toes. And exhale, we use the glutes to push up, really activate. And exhale, bring the hips forward into extension. Inhale down, take it slow. And exhale, slowly, really contract the glutes as you come up. Push the hips forward. That's 2. Magic number's 5. Inhale down, take it slow, even slower, Ross. Exhale up. Inhale, yeah, don't rush it. And exhale, rise. I think we have 1 more. Ross is my counter. How am I doing? Yeah, I think it's the last one. Exhale, rise. 10, right? Yeah. Come to the top of your mat. Have a little shimmy out of the legs. Take a breath. Ooh, yeah. Hands up to sky. And exhale, fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to step or jump back into your high plank and move through your flow. So always an option to drop knees to floor, but don't disactivate the glutes. Keep them squeezed. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Let's do the other side. So first we pedal out through the backs of the legs if you need it. If you feel like you've had quite strong activation, then you're coming up on tips of toes, and then exhale, push through heels. Will really allow a stretch of the back of the legs. I step my right foot slightly further in for this next part. Inhale, the left leg rises up. Bend the knee, flex the toes, and little pulses towards the roof. So what you don't want to do is bring the knee out. That's not using gluteus maximus. That's actually one of the other glute muscles. So really just pulse straight up is that big glute muscle we're trying to activate today. And then exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale to rise up, keep the knee bent, activate the glute. Exhale, knee to elbow. And inhale to rise. We've got 3 more. Exhale, inhale. 2 more. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, rise. Last one. And then exhale, the last one we step through. Coming into a deep lunge. Going back a little further with your back foot and push through the heel towards the back of the room. Ground through your front left heel as you use your hips and your strength to rise up slowly. Hands up. Here we go back into our lunges. So to do this, just see with the distance of your feet. I sometimes may need to step my back foot a little further forward for this one. Take a breath in, come down, and exhale, we rise up. And squeeze the glute at the top. Inhale, rise down. Exhale, have 5. Inhale. 2 more left. Squeeze the glute at the top. Let's do 1 more for good luck because I sometimes miscount. And come down, inhale. Exhale, we're going to step forward, knees into chest. Lots of control needed here. Inhale, back, drop the knee. Exhale, 2, 3. Push through the heel on the left leg to use the glute. 4. Last one. Beautiful. Step back into lunge, exhale, warrior 2. So heel to arch alignment. This should feel like a nice break after that. Come deeper into the front quad and try to have that sensation of opening the hips. So pushing down on the outside of that right foot, come deeper into left glute, left quad. Exhale into eagle arms. This time, the opposite way. Maybe the head falls and rests into the hands or the forearms. Inhale, open back up, warrior 2. Exhale, hands come to center. Shimmy the feet in, toes out towards the sides of the mat. Knees go the same way. Come into a deep squat. Goddess. Hands to heart, or maybe hands take another hand position or mudra. Here we go. We're going to rise one heel and drop. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, drop. Other side. Have a little play. Next challenge. I have my feet a little closer for this one. I bring up both my heels and come deeper. Last challenge, little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heels, hands on the thighs. Exhale, left shoulder to right knee. Traction through that left hip. Inhale to center, exhale to other side. Relaxing the neck and head. Inhale to center, 1 more each side. And when you come through center, if it feels good to straighten the legs for a minute, please do that and get a break. Walk the feet a little closer, coming into our last sets of squats. Hands come at prayer or like this, so whichever feels better. Feet just wider than hips. We're going to come down nice and low. And from here, check your knees. They're not over the toes. Inhale. Exhale to come up, but take it really slow. push the hips forward, squeeze the glutes at the top. Inhale to slowly rise down with control to your lowest range. And then exhale, we use those glutes, push up and squeeze. Inhale to lower, low as you can. And exhale, really take that mind's eye to the glute and make sure it's working so it's not getting lazy. Inhale low. Exhale. We have one more to go. Inhale, squat. Exhale to rise. Hands come to heart center. Take a breath. For me, I find it nice to close my eyes. Ross said to me after one class, "Why do you keep telling me to close my eyes?" I said, "It's because it helps you focus on your breath." So in case you're wondering why I close my eyes all the time, yeah. Inhale, hands up to sky, and exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and move through your flow, which is a high to low plank, taking any of those options that you want. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, sweep between the hands, coming into lunge. Don't worry, we're not here for too long. Hands to heart center. We'll be moving into a warrior three with hands to the heart. So exhale, warrior three, we pick up that left leg. And the aim here is to have the heel and the head in one line. To do that, we're using the left glute to pull the weight of the left leg up. So that's why this is so important that the glute is working. Inhale, come forward like a pendulum. So we bring that left foot almost to the ground, but it hovers. And exhale up. I've only got 3 of these because they're hard. And we're going to hold at the top for 2 breaths. And then on the exhale, slowly come back with that control. Inhale and exhale, rise. Last one. Hold for 2 breaths if you can. And instead of rising, we're just going to place the hands on the floor and come into a standing leg split, using that same glute, which is pulling against the tension at the front of the quad. Let's hold for 1 more big breath. Let's make it 2. And on your last exhale, bring that foot in, bend through the knees, and just give yourself a little bit of a straighten and bend into the legs. They feel quite nice after a lot of work. Let's do, and gently bringing the right leg up into tree. So doing the same side. So your options for tree can be on your ankle or in the middle of your leg or at the top. And hands just come to heart center. And you try to find that focal point, that balance. Now, if you wish to stay here, this is absolutely fine. Just focusing on the balance. If you want to come a little further, you can have a play with half lotus, which is bringing your foot into the top of the hip, and knee gently comes down to the side. And hands come to heart. You can also stay here, or if you want a little further, you can start to fold forward, tip at the hips, bring your hands forward so you feel nice and secure. Bring the hands onto the floor and maybe fold forward over the standing leg. If you're doing that and you feel like that's your edge, stay there. If you want to try toe stand or you have done it before, you can bend into the standing leg, come onto your tippy toes and have a little play with toe stand. Only an option. You do not have to take it. It's just here if you want to play. Little trick is to bring your left glute so it sits on your left heel for stability. Come out, hands come onto the floor, straighten through the standing leg, you come back into the fold forward, and then back into tree to meet anyone who is staying there for us. And exhale, bring the leg down, and give your legs a little wiggle out. Bring hands up to sky, smiles, and exhale to fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back into your plank. Move through your flow. Maybe it's a one-legged chaturanga, maybe knees on the floor. Inhale to come up, and exhale, down dog. Take a few breaths here, really feel into your down dog, release the neck a little if that feels good. Inhale, the left leg rises up. Now you should feel the glute when that happens. I hope that you do. And exhale, bring the knee forward between the hands. Inhale, we rise into a lunge. Coming back into our warrior three, hands to heart. Exhale, we come forward. And hold here for 2. Exhale, we slowly come down, so it's like a little pendulum. We bring the foot down, it's hovering off the floor. And then as we exhale, take back. Now using that right glute to lift the leg so that the heel is in line with the head. Inhale, slowly come back. So this is number 2. Exhale back. Inhale to center. I think we have one more. And exhale, one more. And then exhale, hands to floor. I need to go back to school. My counting is terrible. Doesn't matter. You get a good workout. And that top leg is activating that right glute to lift. So if you actually get your index finger and point your glute and activate it and lift it, you'll be surprised how much further you can go here. That's why we were practicing the activation and the deactivation at the start, is your mind can do a lot of cool things. Exhale, slowly come back. Bring your feet down, maybe some little bends and straightening of the legs feels good after that. And then slowly roll up to standing. Let's go to the other side, so the left side this time. Coming to the top of your mat, bringing your foot into your options, so whichever option you choose is fine. And if you want to try a different hand position, you can grow some branches in your tree or do prayer, or you can do reverse namaste. Lots of cool stuff you can do. Or if you want to come a little further, you can come into your half lotus like we did before. Half lotus, the more the knee comes down towards the floor, the more of an opening in the hip you're going to get. If your knee doesn't feel good, don't do this. Coming to a forward fold for those who want to take it. Hands come to the floor. Just practice gently bringing your forehead towards your standing shin. Those who have practiced Ashtanga, this is an Ashtanga move with a standing up. Coming a little further into toe step, supporting leg. Coming onto the tippy toes. And maybe, for me, it feels good to rest my right glute on my the top of the right heel, and then the hands come up. Keeping nice and straight through the back. Finding something to focus on. Be still. Come out, hands to the floor. Put the weight into the hands so that your knee is not taking that weight. Fold, slowly rise up, back into our tree. And exhale, nice one. Feet back down. Inhale, hands up to sky. And exhale, fold. Inhale, we move through our flow, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back into plank. Knees down or full chaturanga to floor. Inhale into upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look between the hands and bring the knees between the hands. We're coming into abs. So those of you at home, if you want to have your own timer on, you can. Bring holds. So if you want to test how long you can do it, if a minute's too long, you can time yourself and see if you improve over the month. First one is plank. If your wrists hurt, come onto your elbows, okay? If it gets too much, bring your knees down. You've always got options. So we're doing like a superhero plank, and I'll show you what it is. It's called the angry cat. Start. So coming into plank, just go into a natural plank for you. And once you're there, nice. I want you to push into your hands so you protract through your back. So it's like an angry cat. As much as you can, like really, really push into the floor. I want you to take your heels towards the back of the room, but your chest in between your hands, and then protract again. Now watch your glutes. If they're high, your abs are not going to be working. If they're nice and low in between, you'll feel them switch on. So start to move your glutes down, activate the glutes, so squeeze them together. They're not being lazy, just check it, because they often can be in this pose. Glutes are active, core is active. Bring the chest even further between the hands, push up. You've only got 10 seconds left. Look at that. Talk so much that it goes too fast. Squeeze that booty again. Don't let it be lazy. just stop. So knees come down. Well done. Coming onto your back for the second round. So we're doing dish, which is really great for those of you who came to the handstand workshop. This is awesome for handstands. This is what I do every single time before handstands. When we come into dish, the lower back is on the floor and the legs and the shoulders and the head comes up, okay? We're gonna hold for a minute. If your lower back starts to bow, it means your core is not strong enough, so your back is compensating. I'd like you to come out, have a break, and then come back into it. You do not want the lower back to come off the floor. All right, here we go. So rising up. I like to squeeze my legs together because it gives me more strength and push my lower back into the floor and hands up towards the ceiling. Now, if your neck starts to hurt, just place your hands behind your head. And if at any point your lower back comes off the floor, I'd like you to come out and have a break and come back in. Squeeze that glutes together, but not so much so that your lower back comes off the floor. So just watch that. Halfway. Doing pretty well. Close the eyes and wish you're somewhere else, maybe. Keep squeezing the legs. Yeah, just remember if the neck hurts at all, just bring your hands behind your neck and head. Actually makes it harder because it adds more weight. Got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice one. Oh, roll onto your belly. Go into an upward facing dog. I'll turn this way. Upward facing dog will just stretch out all of that core that we've just worked. And from here, roll the shoulders back and you let the glutes relax because that'll allow the core to relax as well. Look over that left shoulder back towards your left foot. Inhale to center and exhale to the other side. From here, coming into downward facing dog, pushing up and back. Inhale, the right leg rises up. And exhale, bring that right foot towards the left hand for pigeon, half pigeon. Your favorite. So from here, if you're falling onto that right glute, I'd like you to bend that left knee and come down this way. Or place a block under the hips so that they're straight. But what I don't want you to do is come into pigeon with a straight back leg unless your hips are also straight. And once you find that position, if your shin is quite parallel to the front of the mat, which is quite difficult, then you can have your toe flex towards the shin. Otherwise, gently point your toe. This is going to take a bit of pressure off your knee. A really nice other option is for the floor on your back if you have knees that are a little bit funny, sensitive. And then this is a pose where you really can just surrender. The target muscles here are all the ones we've been working in today's class. So all the glutes. So with that same attention that we've been working with in the class, see if you can take your mind's eye to those glute muscles. See if you can relax any extra muscles in that area with your mind. Doing a little body scan and seeing if you can find any of those little muscles that are holding on. And find some extra softness. Coming back to what we learned at the start of the class with the attention on the ribs, maybe you can bring the attention to the breath as you inhale and feel your ribs expand on your leg. And exhale, feel them contract. If you've been here a little while now, you may find an opportunity to go a little deeper, maybe straighten the hips out a little bit. This is already at your edge, just stay as you are. And letting that gravity, so the body's weight is going to work here to intensify the stretch for you. So the more your torso and body relaxes, the more weight on your legs, which means the deeper the stretch. So have a little play with that. If it's too much, bringing that weight by taking some of the weight in your arms and taking the torso weight off your legs can help. And gently pushing up and coming back into a downward facing dog to walk out the legs. Just gently pedaling one leg and straightening the other. Just noticing that sensation through the backs of the legs as we work, and then a deep stretch. So should be feeling nicer on one side than the other. Then the left foot comes forward towards the right wrist and come into half pigeon on the left. Taking your options, so you've got figure four on your back, or you can bend the back knee if you are finding that you can't have your hips straight. To deepen the stretch, you can actually use your hand to walk your right foot forward so that your shin is more parallel to the front of the mat. That's only if you're quite flexible and that feels good for you. And then when you find your spot, just gently relax down. Maybe you have some pillows or something at home that you can place under your face or a block. And then just using this time for you. Maybe observing one side is feeling different to the other side. And this comes back into our theme of strength, because strength is also pushing through the things that are a little bit uncomfortable. Because without challenge, we do not change. And when this pose really starts to bite, that is exactly when you need to stay. Using that breath to breathe through the challenge, just like we do in life. And there's times when things get a little difficult, the breath can really help us center ourselves. Going a little deeper, this is your opportunity for your last few breaths. If you feel like you're at your edge, staying as you are and trying to stay through the last breaths in the pose. Gently pushing up through the hands, coming back into a downward facing dog. Walking out the legs. Releasing the second head, maybe shaking the head yes or no a little to make sure that neck is relaxed. Looking between the hands, bringing the knees between the hands. So we've worked our glutes, we've worked our core. This is perfect for going into back bends. So let's come back into our plank and slowly lower ourselves to the floor. We'll come into locust pose. So with locust, we're going to do one side each. I want you to squeeze your glutes and push your hips into the floor, and then take your left hand and poke your glutes, and then raise your left leg up off the floor, just with the glute strength. But push both your hip bones into the floor at the same time. The neck is neutral, looking towards the floor. Exhale, lower the left leg. Take a breath in. And exhale, rise the right leg up. It's maybe just poke your glutes and check they're working. push both your hip bones into the floor, squeeze the glute, keep it up, and exhale down. So now we come into locust pose, which is the full version of the pose. Take a breath in to prepare, and exhale, we rise up. We roll the shoulders up and back. We lift the legs, the weight of the legs with the glutes. The neck is neutral, gazing towards floor. Lift the legs a little further, using the glutes. You've been activating this whole class. Push the hips into the floor, and exhale, left cheek to floor, and relax down. So that's a really active back bend where we're using our muscles to create the back bend. Now we're going to inhale to come back to center. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use the assistance of our arms in bow. So we're going to grab, actually we'll start with activation first. So left foot flexed, and we're going to just push the hips into the floor and raise the left glute up just with strength. So this is what I also want you to do when we do it with our hands. Also use the activation, and down, other side. Right knee points up, and lift the heel just with the strength. Exhale down. All right, now we kick the feet back. We grab our ankles, flex the feet. If you, something that happens when you turn on your glutes is your knees want to go out. So what I often do is point my toes together at the back, which makes sure my knees don't come up out too wide. Take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, we come up. We roll the shoulders back, so the legs are kicking away from the arms. But what I want you to do here is not just let the arms do all the work. Squeeze the glutes and lift with the booty, which is going to get you much higher than you would with just your arms. Neck is neutral, just gaze down. And exhale, lower down. Much harder when you use the glutes. Right cheek to floor, gaze towards the right. Left. Inhale, come back to center. Push up into your upward facing dog. Squeeze the glutes or let them relax here. It wouldn't matter. You can take your choice. And exhale, we come into downward facing dog. So we really stretch out through the backs of the legs. Look between hands, knees come between hands. Roll the mat up once or twice. Camel pose. If you do have a tweaky back, do one-sided camel. So go on one side and then we swap. Everyone else, we're doing full camel twice, just so that everyone gets an opportunity. All right, so knees are as wide as the hips. Get the thumbs into the sacrum, wrap the hands around the hips, point the elbows back, squeeze the booty. So when you squeeze the booty, you'll notice the hips extend. That's good. It's going to deepen your back bend. Elbows back, chin to chest, and gently lean back. So we're just using our strength here of our core to hold us. We're not using our arms and gravity. It's all strength here, glutes and core. Inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to deepen the back bend through gravity. So either do that again, or on the next exhale, come back and bring the hands down to the feet. Come onto the tippy toes, makes it a little bit less deep. Roll the shoulders back. If it feels good, let the head fall back as well. But don't forget the glutes. Keep squeezing the glutes and pushing the hips forward, extending, deepening the back bend. One more breath. Come out whenever you feel that you are ready. Exhale to come out. Bring your hands on your lower back to support yourself as you slowly come up and gently sit down onto your ankles. Maybe close the eyes to focus on your breathing. And just let that heart slow down after that bit of extra work. Half hero pose. So half hero, you want your knees together but your feet out on either sides of your glutes, and you sit down in the space between your feet. A little trick is to roll. If you have quite strong calf muscles like me, you've got to roll the calf muscle out to the side, which allows more space for you to sit down. So if you're a runner, cycler, you might need to do that. If you have knees that already feel a bit tweaky now, a couple of options. Knees come out a little wider. Traditionally, it's good to have them together. Also, just do one side. It actually feels awesome just doing one side. So if you're not feeling, if you know that you're not super bendy, please just do one side. Those in full hero will stay a little longer to give those doing one side a little more time. Hands back onto the tops of your heels. Open your shoulders, see how that feels. If that feels okay, maybe bend your elbows and come down a little further. Keeping chin to chest, or if it feels okay, the head can fall back. If you want to take it further, you straighten the arms and come down into the full expression. And you can bring your hands over your head, bend your elbows, and hands can grab either elbow. Those of you who are doing a one-sided hero, please just change sides now. Those in your full hero will stay here for a few more breaths. Not breathing through any pain in the knees. If there's a lot of tension in the lower back, then please also come up. But what you'll notice through a long hold here is all the muscles do gently start to relax. To come out of the pose, hands come back onto the top, on the bottom of the feet. Bend the elbows, chin to chest, look towards your belly, and then shimmy your elbows back to slowly push yourself up with your hands. Gently coming up onto your knees and bringing your glutes to one side. Hands, feet come to the floor, and we'll slowly move ourselves down towards the mat. Last option here is to come into wheel. If that is not feeling cool for you today, then I'd just come into a butterfly pose, so knees out and hands to heart, or come into just a twist, so windscreen wiping each leg from side to side to traction out the back. Let's all do that for a moment before wheel. So let both knees fall to one side, inhale to center, and then fall to the other side. This just helps us realign the spine after some compression. All right, let's try to come into wheel. So for those of you who want to come, hands come over the top of your head, so just above your shoulders, fingers facing towards your body. Elbows wrap in towards your body, so they're not out to the side, they're stacked over the wrists. When we come up, I really, 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 really don't want you to come up and rest on your head. I'm not a fan of that in yoga. A lot of practices do that, but your neck is a very important muscle, very important bones that you do not want to stuff up. So please just try to push up clean into wheel. I'll show you how to do it. Take a breath in to prepare. And exhale, we push into the hands and we push straight up. So we're not coming up onto the head first, because that can really damage the neck. Squeeze the glutes, which allows hip extension. Make sure the knees are not going out too wide to the sides of the room. If you want to make this a little bit easier, you can come up onto your tippy toes. That actually reduces the back bend. If you want to intensify the back bend, bring your heels down. Squeeze the glutes a little more. Come down whenever you feel that you want to. To come down, look first towards your chest, bend your elbows, and slowly come down so your upper back comes onto the floor, not coming onto your head. And then gently lower back to floor and windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. Coming into a supine twist, so straightening the left leg, right knee comes up towards. Interlace fingers around the chin, pulling the knee up nice and tight. Feel a release in the lower back. Exhale the knee to the top of the body, gaze towards right hand, supine twist. Seeing if both shoulders can stay on the floor through the twist. Inhale, gently coming back to center. Straightening the back on the floor, straightening both legs. And exhale, left knee in towards chest. If you want to get more into the hips, you can bring the knee towards the left armpit. Exhale, knee comes up and over the body into supine twist. Neck can be neutral or look towards the left, whatever feels better for your body. And maybe it's a good time to take that focus back to the breath. The gentle rise and fall of the ribs, of the lungs. Inhale back to center and rolling onto your belly. Coming into, I'll do it this way so you can see me. Coming into our fallen angel. So we'll start on the left for those of you online can see what I'm doing. So I'm bringing my left shoulder in line with my elbow and hand in line with my elbow on this way, hands spread wide. Come into a neutral spine, then bring the right leg up and over the top of the body. And coming into a sort of a twist as well as a shoulder opener. So if you can rest that right foot on the floor, some people can get the whole foot on the floor. For me, that's quite intense. So I just even started to straighten the leg, have a play what feels good for you. If you can't feel the stretch in the shoulder, you need to try and bring your elbow a little further up so it's in line with the shoulder. And just have a play and see where you start to feel that stretch. Also play with the feet, see what feels good, close the eyes. Inhale back to center. And then we set up onto the other side. So checking that the elbow is in line with the shoulder. And we bring the left foot up and over the top of the body. And bring the right cheek onto the floor, gazing to the other side. So for me, this side feels a lot better. And maybe there's a side for you that feels better as well. Wherever you are, see if you can find a little bit more softness. We're using the gravity here to deepen the stretch for us. Gently rolling onto the belly. Coming into an upward facing dog. And bring the knees in and find your way onto the mat for your final resting pose, your Shavasana. Any last movements that you wish to take, maybe a happy baby or something similar, is absolutely invited, encouraged. Otherwise, if your back is feeling happy, you can just come down into your final resting pose. welcome to stay as you are for longer if you're at home. Or if you wish to come out with us, you can gently start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe little circles with the wrists and the feet. Inhale, reaching the hands up overhead and stretching from tips of fingers to bottoms of toes. Maybe a little smile comes onto the face. Exhale, bring knees into chest and give yourself a hug. Maybe it feels nice to put the hands on the knees and make little circles with the knees to massage the lower back. And changing direction. When you're feeling ready, rolling onto your favorite side and keeping your bottom arm as a pillow. Eyes are closed and neck is relaxed. Gently pushing yourself up to a comfortable seated position as we finish the class together. Hands can be resting on the knees. Rolling the shoulders up and back, and I invite you to keep your eyes closed to focus on this wonderful internal energy that you've created for yourself. Hands come to heart center, and we remember that strength is not created through doing the things that we know we can do. It's through accomplishing or overcoming the things that we believe that we cannot do. The things that are hard, challenging, create strength. Through tension and fighting, we create strength. So I hope that you found some strength today and also some softness. Namaste. Thank you for a lovely class and for all your energy. And I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely weekend.